Okay, we are live. This is Bishop Udell, and I'm bringing you an illustrated high point. This is written by Ted Simonson in Union Gospel Press. Listen up, it's interesting. It talks about committing a trespass from Joshua chapter verse 1. A little girl was discovered making mud pies in her backyard. She called her creations warm chocolate. Her grandmother cleaned up the mess and forbade any more messes. Undeterred, the 2 year old continued manufacturing warm chocolate. 3 times she said, "Don't look at me, Grandma, okay?" When we choose to disobey God, it is silly to think we can hide our sin from Him. Ted shares about how Israel had sinned from Joshua 7, verse 11. A school crossing guard in Florida tried everything to get drivers to slow down as they drove through a school zone. Nothing worked until he took a blow dryer, wrapped it in electrical tape, and pointed it at passing cars. It looked like it might be a radar gun. It was amazing how quickly drivers hit the brakes. This is a small example of how fear can change behavior. Point of this sharing. Why have you troubled us? Okay. Here is a story about the crime of vandalism on a college, campus. It had come to the attention of the college president, and he called the culprits to his office. In the midst of the scolding, one boy reached into his pocket and said, "Just tell us the cost of the damage and I will pay the bill," unquote. The president was furious. "Put away your in assembly, all of you will make public acknowledgement of your offense, or you will be expelled. Do not think a few miserable dollars can ever repay your debt to the founders of this university and the sacrifices they made to build this place and endow it at great cost and care." That could be shared with a whole lot of universities around this country. Thank you, Ted. And we'll bring you other things others have written in the future from Union Gospel Press. And let's encourage, it's amazing how quickly parents get on adults like teachers, the police. Interesting how these, uh, well, there are parents. I was going to say some other name, but I won't do that. It's amazing how some parents get irate when an adult tell them about the sins of their children. "How dare you put my child in jail? How dare you put your hand on my child?" Well, here's a secret. You don't want your child to be arrested by the police or worse. You don't want the teacher of your child to report him to the principal you just, well, stupid parents who get mad at other people for trying to help their child grow up will one day be probably going to juvenile, spending time, and they still don't put their own hand on their child and control that child. That same parent may one day be going to see their child in jail or in prison or worse, in a casket. So many young people are killing and being killed, usually because their own parent did not discipline them. They let them do what they wanted. I heard one parent say, "Well, I love my child. I want him to like me. Uh, if you are a real parent, it's not about your child liking you. It's about you raising your child in the way he or she should go so they don't harm themselves, harm others, or vandalize property, and so many more things. If you want your child to not have anybody put their hand on your child, then you do something. You take it upon yours. Of course, it's hard to train up a tree once it's a certain height. If the tree is yet small and you put controls on that tree, it can grow to be a fine, tall, respected tree. The same thing about a child. If you don't put controls on a child when they are young, some have said of 0 and 5. If you don't do something to control that child, help that child learn to control his or her emotions, that tree is going to go crooked. I'm sorry. You can show all the love you want to a tree, but if you don't put some control so it grows straight, when it's leaning over on your house and maybe a comes and breaks off, crashes through, don't get mad at God. Don't get mad at the wind. You should have trained that tree right so it grows this way, maybe lean this way away from your house. Same thing about your child. If you don't take time to raise your child with discipline, that means with controls, don't get mad at people who try to put some controls to keep your child from going to jail, going to prison, using drugs, hanging out with the right people, or dead. It's our responsibility as, and so often it falls upon grandparents or even great grandparents to help raise children right when they are young and small. Don't get mad at the police for trying to corral your child. You corral your child, and things would be a whole lot better for society. God bless you.